sir. We're going to get straight into it. Tonight, we got a special little draft scenario coming up. But right now, you're going to get the draft a little bit earlier. This is going to be a few days after when you hearing this. But right now, we're going to talk a little bit about this conversation that the boys in the group chat was getting pretty heated about over the week. Them boys was going back and forth, and we was like, yo, we got to finish this one on Sunday. So here we go. Who wants to break it down? Because I was here for it, but I don't really know everything about it. So talk to him, somebody.
All right, I can give you short term version of what's going
Oh, hell no.
what the talk was. So basically, DJ Rose sends this post in that says better point guard all time, Kyrie or Dame. My following response, you could look, we could check the messages in there, receipts and everything. So the first thing I said was, what does my team need? So by that statement, I'm like, what does my team need? Because they base the same thing, but Dame is a better leader than Kyrie Irving. But I'm looking at it like, well, better point guard of all time. I'm not. I'm gonna separate them from their team and do individual. So that's why I'm like, you know what? Kyrie's a better individual player, but Dame is a better team, like better person to have on my team. So that's where I come from. And from there, it sparked off of, well, Dame from DJ Rose. I'm picking Dame because he's led his team and all this stuff, and I'm like, we taking away the team aspect of it all, and we breaking it down as individual. What has this individual have done that made him better than Kyrie? Like, what individually has he done better than Kyrie? So from there, it just was a back and forth of that. I was like, Dame, why would you pick Kyrie? And the constant was Dame led his team to the Western Conference Finals, which brings up the conversation of, well, Kyrie got a ring then. Because since you want to bring up his team success of them making it to the Western Conference Finals, guess what? Kyrie has made it to the finals. No matter
Hey,
who's on his
wait,
team,
before you keep going,
they made it to the finals.
I think you gotta note the order of things too. I think you gotta note the order of things because that's the main thing about everything. The first question you asked is, what do we need from my team? And the immediate response was, Dame took his team to the conference finals. I don't mean to cut you off, but I just want to note that in there. I just want to.
That wasn't the first initial response, Patrick. I ain't gonna hold to you, my guy.
Yes,
Especially
that
when you
was.
look at the
We can
chat.
go back. We can go back and look at the chat. That was the very first response.
We were first breaking down talking about individually stat. They could both are equal in skill and everything. It come down to what you talking about to the play style and what they could bring to you in the team. And this is the clear difference that I was making in the chat. I am going with the point guard that was the number one option. I'm not picking the point guard that was the number two. And everywhere else where he was number one, 20 wins. And when he was leader in Boston, first round exit, second round exit. Oh my bad. Second round exit. The team went to the Eastern Conference Finals without him. Without him.
So this is my rebuttal to that, right?
Because you was bringing up someone. I'm trying to get y'all to take out the ring because the ring comes from your team situation, not your individual play as the
And the
player.
Western Conference Finals comes from a team play.
There are point guards as individual players that do not have a ring that are still better.
But you keep mentioning his Western Conference Finals. Do not mention his Western Conference Finals then if you don't want to talk about a ring.
He was the number one option. He was the leader. Kyrie
because
was never
he never left.
Never led the
The
team.
same story
He never led the
the
team.
same thing could be said about Kyrie if LeBron never came to Cleveland.
Exactly.
Literally the same exact statement could be made.
Kyrie would never have 50 wins if LeBron never came out to Cleveland.
Yes, he would have.
You want to know what he had with his records? Do you want to know?
I know what his record was, but you gonna go ahead and tell me. Tell me what it was.
So we got 21 and 45. We got 24 and 58. And on this same team, I'm going to name y'all some players that were actually on championship teams on the same team with Kyrie Irving in his third year. My bad. We got Tristan Thompson. We got Anderson Varejao. We got Matthew Dellavedova. We got Dion Waiters. We got Maurice Spates. We got Sean Livingston. We even got goddamn Steph Curry. Please.
On what team? On Cleveland?
Which one of those players on those teams what player on Dame's team has ever been to the finals?
Time out. You talking about in Cleveland?
Not CJ McCollum. Not any of them was ever deemed that they could get.
Here's my question once again. That team you just named, first of all, when the hell did Steph Curry was on the Cleveland Cavaliers? Second of all, which team are you talking about?
2014? Actually? 2013-14 season?
When Steph Curry was on the 2013-2014 team?
And Dion Waiters, yes, in the backcourt. You can look it up. It's on Basketball Reference.
I said Steph Curry. You said Steph Curry.
I didn't say Steph. I said Seth.
brother. You talking about some team that was in 2013,
bro.
and you talking about
Because
Dame.
we're because the only
I'm
time
trying
that
not
you,
to get pissed off because Rose, your examples don't mean nothing.
bro,
They have mean no
bro.
meaning.
Only
Because
this
anybody that was on that championship team,
he going to Kyrie got a ring. Who was on that team with him to with the ring? So we're going to take that out, and we're going to look at when they're both the point guard, when they're both the leader, when they both had the same timetable coming into the league. Those first 3 to 4 years before they got actual another All Star on the team with them that was an All Star. Those first 3 years, what did you do? Because we can even talk about post LeBron. I ain't trying to go there. I ain't trying to go
hold
there.
on, hold
I
on,
ain't
hold
trying
on,
to go
hold on,
there
hold
with
on,
that.
hold on,
Because
hold
I
on,
know
hold on, hold on, hold on. I'm gonna ask this
trying to make
question,
some
right?
sense.
I'm gonna ask this
I'm trying
question.
to make some sense.
Here's my
So please,
question. Here's my question,
what's
right? So
mm-hmm,
go ahead and name that team when Kyrie got there as a rookie. Name that rookie team, please.
that
Please
rookie
name that
team?
rookie team.
Hold on, I got it right here for
Please,
you in the screen.
go ahead. No, no, no.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take your time because I want you to name that rookie team because I'm gonna go ahead and point out the people who was actually still on that team when they won the championship.
yeah. The ones that were still on the team that had a championship, it was freaking Matthew Dellavedova, Tristan
Not,
Thompson,
not,
Anderson Varejao, and
that's not,
Deion Waiters was also a
that's
part of the
not
team.
true.
He was on the bench.
None of that is
Deion Waiters
true.
was on the bench. I didn't
None
even
of
know he
that
was on
is
the bench.
true. That is not true.
Not the winning year, but they went to the finals though. Still, he went to the finals twice, right? But both times he was not the leader. He was not the focal point of what you talking about playing defense against that offense. It was
First of all,
LeBron James. If no LeBron James
once
came back to
again,
Cleveland, you are not talking
since
about
you
the
want to talk
Cavaliers.
about the team so bad, since you want to talk about the team so bad, Kyrie Irving has
But
when
you
he
keep
was
throwing.
individually on that team in Cleveland, they
Oh
constantly
You
yeah,
got
keep
I'm so
better.
bad.
When
you would
Damian
have no
Lillard was
not
on that team, they stayed stagnant the whole entire time. The furthest they went was
you
the
would
Western
have
Conference Finals.
Dame's
Guess
team has
what?
been
They
great
haven't done
since
anything.
day one.
y'all
But I want to make a point.
you have a valid point if you brought up the All Star MVP that Kyrie has in 2014. You have a valid
I
point.
brought it up. I did bring it up. What are you talking about? I listed all of you asked what
They literally have the same exact
you
conference.
asked what does Dame have?
Ring. What is the championship ring?
You
That's our
asked what does
first thing
Dame have? I all
have.
star this or that?
I have. Y'all both said a championship. That's
No.
y'all first both
No.
answer.
I
Was it not?
when
Y'all
after I
both said
already
Moses
listed
won the
that.
ring. Did you not?
Let's
What
all right. See you all right. This is clear. You must not know the timestamp. So let's go back through the entire chat because I already scrolled back up. When you sent the picture, the initial thing that Najee responded was, "What do I need? What I need for my team." Afterwards, the response was, the picture again. Better point guard 1v1 skill wise is Kyrie. That's what Dame said. I mean, that's what Najee says. Afterwards, he says, "What I need for my team." Jamel responds, "Registration, blah blah blah," because he thinks we talk about franchise. I'm sorry that I'm stuttering, chat, because I'm sorry I'm stuttering. You know what I'm saying, because I just want y'all to understand this is to the key. Uh, Najee responds, "I'm talking about Dame and Kyrie." Then the initial response that Kenneth comes back with is, I'm saying Dame because he got a team to the conference finals while Kai had the Cavs drafting number one those first 4 years. Braun helped put Kai over the top and winning games. So you going all over the spectrum, but when I said that earlier, I'm sorry, I had to step out. But when I said that earlier, you said that was not your initial response. That was your very first response to what Najee had just said.
yeah,
So
what did I give in the context to your answer saying
then
the first
afterwards, you started talking about all this other stuff. But that was your first response.
pass of teammates around them to say, oh, they should have the success. Dame has not played with a Jason Tatum. He has not played with a Jalen Brown. He has not played with a Terry Rozier. He has not played
Because
with a
he
LeBron.
chose all that. Stop making it
Bro,
seem like
Dame has played with
he just
Dame has played with
ain't do nothing
comparable
to
role
do.
players.
Point guard. We're saying individually, your point guard, what did you do and you brought to your team? I'm not taking the guy that was number 2 on his team. Yes, he may have won a ring, but nigga, you're Scottie Pippen. No one says
It was
Scottie
one and
Pippen.
one. It was
That's
1-1.
another small forward that was in the league at the time. We said Scottie Pippen was my MJ's number 2, and that was it.
It
Literally,
was
we don't
one
say
and
James
one.
Harden because Klay Thompson has a
It
ring.
was it was 1-1. Braun and Kai. It
Doing
was
better.
not. He was not number two. It was one and
Literally,
one. Klay
literally,
Thompson was number two, but
literally.
Kyrie was. It was 1-1 over there.
1-1, 1-1, literally.
First of all,
Yes,
Okay.
time
and you
out.
can ask any
Time out.
player. You see
Here's the thing.
every interview.
Everything y'all think. Okay,
This is where my statement. This is where I want to clarify. This is Kenneth. This is what you said. Now you said. I'm saying Dame because he got a team to a conference finals while Cal had the Cavs drafted number one those first 4 years. Braun helped Kai over the top terms of winning games. I said, and my response was, your comparison is so unbalanced. Dame was drafted to a considered contender, which was a better team than what Kyrie's was.
Got that right
Kyrie
here
was
too.
drafted to a team where Virgil was the best player and the end of the career, Antoine Jameson.
That
which is facts. But you
that
dancing
year.
around the
I want to
years.
tell you, the year that this team that you said that the Trailblazers had a championship contending team, they were 28-38, and they had names of
Bro,
Jamal Crawford, Marcus Camby, Kurt
they
Thomas,
were
Wesley
fourth.
Matthews,
They
Greg
were
Pollard,
fourth in the West his rookie year.
Raymond Felton, Lamarcus Aldridge, Greg Oden. These guys were on this team the year prior to Dame being drafted,
And was
right?
LaMarcus Aldridge not an
And
All Star the next year? Was he not
prior
an
to
All Star the next year?
45 wins. They actually had 48 wins. And on those teams, they didn't even have the talent
Can you answer this
on
question?
that
Can you
team.
answer this question, please? Can you?
Damian Lillard came. I'm trying. Can you let out literally like going through my whole thing, Pat? You can't just like take over the whole conversation. Like we understand all y'all going with Kyrie, but literally y'all going off a championship ring, which is a team accomplishment.
We're
The
not
question
going off
is,
of.
can a point
Oh,
guard
No
really
listen.
one's
end up
going.
being a point
No
guard?
one's going off of that.
That's literally what you. That's literally what
So
y'all
I'm
do.
gonna cut you off when you put words in my mouth. That's what's gonna happen every time.
All-Star
You
MVP and
brought
said,
up no you didn't. No, you did not.
you literally said you said you was about to bring it up. Did you not just earlier? Did you
You
not just
did.
earlier?
You in the
I literally
conversation
I'm
you
now.
asked
The
what does
championship
Kyrie have over Dame? You said
because Kyrie was not the focal point of that. Yes, he
you
made
asked
the one shot in Game 7. Yes, he did
you
have
asked me a
41.
question. I'm trying to answer it.
The shot that
But
gets him to win a
what
championship,
did
and he's
you
not a
do
main
that,
part.
Patrick?
Let me get
Can
this
I
straight.
answer the question, please?
He
Can I
makes the
answer
most
the question? Because you
important
constantly
shot the whole
asking
entire
questions, but
game,
I
the
can't
whole
answer
series,
nothing.
and he's not a
No,
focal
You
point.
taking over. You saying I'm taking over the whole show, but you keep talking, but you keep asking questions that I can't answer and keep talking behind it.
yeah, 'cause literally, I
That's
just
crazy.
finally got the whole shit out because I was getting interrupted along the way. Always saying, "Oh,
With
you guys."
five questions, right? So you want me to answer all five, or do you want me to break down from
I'm
1v1?
with the answer
But
to the question.
like I was gonna say from the beginning, when we initially said on a team aspect, when I am building, and it's written multiple times within the conversation, if I am building an NBA team for a team leader, Dame is a better team leader. As a talent for skill, Kyrie is a better skilled player. In terms of accolades, because you wanted to go to accolades, and first of all, you mentioned the conference finals, the very first thing that you mentioned. So when we go to the finals, which is the next step after the conference finals, which again you did mention in
Well,
the conversation.
best team.
Let me finish talking. What did you just say? Let me finish talking. Let me finish talking. Let me finish talking. Then you go on to say, Dame, if Dame took a team to the finals, blah, blah, blah. That's a team award. 50 wins. Dame did not go out and play 1v1 for 50 wins. It's a team stat. You're
You do
talking
know
team,
because
team, team.
what's in the
Let me finish talking. Let me finish talking. That's what I'm gonna do every time you talk. That's a
yeah, I mean,
team stat. Let me finish talking. 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 Let me finish Oh
He
my
did
Let me
not
finish
understand
talking.
that
Let
he
me
Hey,
was
finish
no,
talking.
the
No,
team.
because you're gonna be childish earlier and keep asking questions, but I'm trying to actually talk and say a statement. I'm not asking you to ramble a bunch of questions and answering after. So let me finish talking.
Ain't
Like
nobody
I was
rambling.
saying, like I was saying, Kyrie you asked afterwards, what do these two players have between them? Do they have MVPs? Do they have all-star question marks? Afterwards, you got an answer. Neither have an MVP, but one has an all-star MVP. One has both have three-point contest wins. One won the skills contest, which is Dame, but Kyrie won the rookie team. So we acknowledged all of your questions. The thing that you're not acknowledging is when we say, are we building an NBA team? We need Dame because he's a better leader, not because he has better talent. Because talent wise, 1v1, Kyrie's going to cook him. So what do
Pat,
you want?
what is the question? Better point guard all time. You're changing the goalposts
All
by saying
time is
he's
just
a better
talent.
team when
All
you do
time is talent.
but you're going to say, I'm going to say, because he's more skilled individually, because I feel like he could do it one on one on the black top. He's the better player.
What
And
makes
that's
an
all.
all time
what is
team?
you
All
basing it
time.
off of?
Do
I
you
want
do
to
you not understand that NBA all time teams
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
NBA teams is not
Let's
is
get
not
Rouse's
hold
criteria.
on,
Let's
is
Rob.
get
not
the,
What's your
the
criteria for
criteria for the
better
all
point guard
time.
of all time?
Because I think that's really just hold on before you actually answer that, Rouse. I think that's really just what it is. I think both the three of you guys have different criteria. Well, Naj and Pat are on one side and Ken's side of criteria, I think the criteria is different because basically what's going on is you guys are judging it off of talent, and it seems like Rouse, some of his criteria might have the leadership because you guys do agree that leadership, yeah, you do pick Dame, but talent you pick Kyrie, and I think Rouse is saying leadership is more important than talent. If I'm wrong, correct me, Rouse, but answer their question now. Answer their question now. What is the criteria for of all time?
The criteria for being an all-time great player is one of saying that if I could take you out of your situation, regardless of wherever you at, where your resume became, if I could take you and put you in, drop you in another era, another situation, another team, can you replicate your impact that you made on the other team? I do not believe Kyrie can give you 30 in his sleep, no problem. But in terms of actually winning you games, it's the problem. Damian Lillard is gonna give you 30, 5, and 7. Damian 8 assists. Kyrie gives you 1 assist, 1 rebound, lower than Dame. He averages 3 less points than Dame. I'm not even trying to get
So
into
it's
stats.
leadership.
I just leadership, bro. You got to count it.
Okay, so it's leadership. That's all it is. I think Rouse is putting leadership over the other. I think that's what he's doing. He's putting leadership over the other.
Leadership is a team thing, by the way, because what are you if I'm a leader out here by myself and I'm not leading nobody, how am I lead what am I leading?
It's easier to follow and be
So
Kevin Durant than it is
I
to be
just I
LeBron.
just want to say that. I just would like to
Is
acknowledge that.
was it not easier for
I mean, are
KD to
you
drop in Golden State than it was for
but are
LeBron to come back to Cleveland and
but
change the whole
I'm
company?
actually glad you just mentioned that. I'm glad you mentioned that. Yes, it was. But let me ask you this. Um, where has it not been easy for Kyrie to plug himself in? Because Kyrie's done Kyrie everywhere that he's gone and done and been able to succeed in terms of putting himself in an all-time NBA, because he's been an all-time guard. He's always an NBA like all on the all-team list. So in terms of being an all-star and all of this, he's always on that list. So I don't understand when you say he's not doing that. But
Well,
my question, but
Damian
my
first came
question
out
for
of the
you,
NBA,
but
Kyrie
that's a
second moving.
statement. That's a statement. My question for you is actually, how can you say Dame can plug himself out of something and put himself into another system when he's never done it? So it's like you're going straight off of speculation.
Boom.
Because I've never seen him on another team.
Boom.
It's not speculation. Yeah, of course you're never gonna see him, but you could sit here and say I could take this game and I could take this game and translate it. Can he produce with other talent? What would that be
We haven't seen
different?
it yet.
Yes, of course it would be different. But can your skill set fit in to be able to say, okay, I could take this show on the road? Can Jokic
Can
go on
it?
the
But
road
can it?
and say, you know what, drop me in
Can
New York
it?
to know
I'm
everything?
asking you,
You
can it?
can't
I
say
mean,
that.
but I
You
mean,
can't
well, really, I
do it.
can't even ask you because asking you, it doesn't matter because we need to see it. So that, I mean, it's always a question. You're talking about a question. We've seen Kyrie go into different systems. The reason why the Brooklyn Nets did not make it is because of two injuries. That's the
He
reason
literally
why they didn't make
And
it.
I mean,
he
Dame, you have to
literally
understand, Dame whole play style has been easy for him because they built the team literally around him. So
did not build
we haven't been
when he
able
got
to see
drafted.
him in a different system. Every system has been built around Dame Lillard because he's the head guy of that company, of
And
that
and
team.
and the plan was to build a team around Kyrie.
I get away with this.
LeBron James calls back and
Kyrie
says,
get drafted. Did he not get drafted a year after that trash year after LeBron left for Miami the first year? He got drafted that following year, correct? Because Cleveland got the #1 pick, correct? So the team
correct.
and the keys were given to Kyrie Irving. This is your team. We believe in you. We got Tristan Thompson and Deion Waiters in this draft with you. We want you to be
That's
the
not
guy.
true.
Yeah,
TT.
that is true.
Yeah, no, they
That
got
is
they got
true.
him. First of all, TT. Oh my God, you keep mentioning Tristan Thompson. You talking
Was he?
about what's the
But
one
he
person that was
when
on
he
the
away, but he
championship
didn't
team?
LeBron
Blah
came
blah blah.
there. He
But
did not. He
bro,
literally can't stat. They
first of
literally averaged
all,
less than 6 points
Kyrie has
before
said it
LeBron came there.
himself. The plans
He
was
led
for
with
him
3
to
points
have
and
the
he
keys and to continue to
controlled
build. We're gonna you talking about continuing to build. You talking about when Dame made it to the Western Conference Finals, right? You realize that was what
his
6,
third
7
year.
years? Nope,
His third
third.
year.
What?
Third,
Oh, so
fourth
they
Hold
year.
had
up, hold up.
LaMarcus Aldridge for
Can
sure.
I
They had
can I make a
LaMarcus
mistake?
Aldridge
Can
for sure.
hello,
LaMarcus
hello.
left.
Can first
LaMarcus
of
left.
all,
He wasn't there. The
first of
season
all,
color. Him and CJ
we're gonna
versus
stop saying
versus Clemson
we're gonna
Clay and
stop
KD.
saying Dion Waiters. Stop. You can't keep saying all these people
Deion
names.
Waiters was on
He
this
was not on
team.
that
I
team
just
yet.
Brother.
He
on
literally
the roster
okay. I
for
got
not
the roster
believing.
right here.
You
If
can't
you'll be
team
quiet
for
and I'll list
2014
you the roster
finals.
right now of the rookie team when Kyrie came. When he was a rookie, Dion Waiters was not fucking there. So I can tell you the
But
teams
he
right
was
now
still
if
there
you
with the
listen
finals.
up.
He was still there. He was still there on the
Here
finals.
you go.
Was he not?
Cass
But was he not
Ernest.
there on the
And
bench in the finals?
brother,
Was he not
was he
there?
there
Did
as
he
a
not
rookie?
play when
Was he there as a
Kyrie
rookie
No,
Love
when
when he
Kyrie
was
made
Kyrie
it
was
to
a
the
rookie?
finals.
not? Did
So
he? Literally, you will have a
Do
whole
you
How
act
you
like
gonna
they
keep?
don't pick
You
people
can't
up
keep.
throughout the
You
years?
cannot keep comparing Dame's whole entire Blazers career
Bro,
to
you're
Kyrie's rookie
tripping.
season. That's
That's
ridiculous.
literally what he keeps doing. Like literally.
You literally
better.
keep comparing his whole entire Dame's
Then
whole
try to take
career
out a
to
part of his.
Kyle's 3 or 4 years as a rookie.
They
That's
gotta keep being on the
ridiculous.
thing.
That's absolutely
Oh
retarded.
God.
You cannot do
Then
that.
take out a part of his career and then be like, all right, let's resume here.
You can't do that.
What?
That's not how you
That's
work.
like that's the same. Like
You
that's
can't
not
just
how
cut
it
out a
works,
piece of
bro.
his
He
whole
didn't
entire career
ask
and compare it.
LeBron to come.
Perfect example for both of y'all. Did he not go to Boston, right? He went to Boston, right?
Yes.
For 2 years. Did he not? The first year he went
Yes.
there, you know they won 56 games, right? You know they went to the Eastern Conference Finals, right? You know Kyrie only played 3 games in the first round, right? 3 games.
That's
And I believe
cool.
there were 1 and 2 in those games he played. Y'all know that, right? No, y'all don't know that. Y'all don't know that the very next year in the second round, Kyrie got smacked by Giannis. Y'all don't know that.
We
Y'all
do.
would say
We
Giannis
Bro,
is
do know
a
that.
lot less
how
skilled
many
than
how
Kyrie,
many
right?
teams have gotten smacked by
And
Giannis?
how
But
We
many
do
first of
know
all,
that's
how
that.
many teams have Dame got smacked by? Because
How many times has
I
gotten
really
smacked
only
by
remember
Giannis?
Dame he ain't went that far in a lot of the playoffs either.
So how we
And,
how
and
we go
thank
from
you.
Kyrie and Dame to Giannis though?
Thank you. So,
Because thank you.
oh,
But
oh my
along
God.
with the
All right,
fact
go
that
ahead.
along with the
All
fact
right.
that like bro, you talking about like getting smacked, bro. Dame got smacked
Multiple times.
by the fucking Pelicans.
Multiple times.
The
The
Second
Pelicans.
Blazers
round
haven't
that
made
he
it
led.
nowhere near
Guess
anything else.
what?
The
Kyrie got
same spot. The second.
Giannis
Okay,
literally
then. So
shot
you
19
keep talking about.
entire
So
series.
okay, but you're talking. So
He
now
had
we're gonna
one of
talk.
the best
Well, okay,
series.
so
And right
what
now,
did Dame
though,
shoot versus
Brooklyn
Golden
became
State?
ranked.
What did
What
Dame shoot
happened in
versus Golden
Brooklyn?
State? What did
What
Dame shoot versus?
happened in
He got
Dallas?
hurt. He got
What
hurt,
happened in Dallas? What happened in
bro.
Brooklyn?
He
They were
just
good
got there.
and
He
back.
literally. You
Yeah,
can say the
oh,
same conversation for the Suns. Then you can say the
the
same conversation for the Suns
last year when you
that
get to the
that
playoffs,
All
you
no,
right,
dick
y'all,
right
Okay,
y'all
now.
mind
hold
if
up,
I
hold up,
put
That
a
hold
you
up.
little
that you
Hey,
dick
input
hey,
right
in?
now. That
DJ
you're a
Rose.
fan of.
Jose,
The Suns that you're a fan of. You can say the same thing.
hold up.
the
Who
better point guard. Than
that
Y'all
makes
got
no
that.
sense though. Wait, so let me
But
get it straight.
Yeah,
Hold up.
let's make
So
sense. Let's not yell at each other.
if this is a question, right?
better
Is
point guard
Klay
all time.
Thompson better than Devin Booker then?
No, he's not. He just has championships. Devin Booker's been the leader of his team. He's led his team to the finals.
So let me get it straight. Dame is a better player
That
than
does
Kyrie
not.
because he's a leader,
It
but
does not.
Devin
It
Booker's
does
not
matter.
better than Klay Thompson.
If you're not Steph Curry, if you're not LeBron James, if you're not Devin Booker, if you're not Kevin
Okay.
Durant, we're not concerned about you. You're not the
You're not
main
concerned
effect. You're
about
not.
Kyrie,
Bro,
bro.
you're tripping.
You're
You're
not.
You're
tripping.
tripping.
The leader.
You're
That's what
When the
we
ball
tripping,
all
comes
bro.
talk
across half court, I'm
about.
worried
We
about if
talk
Kyrie
it,
ever going to shoot a three on me
You're
or if he's going to take
tripping,
control.
a
bro.
ring does
Damian
not make
Lillard,
you
I'm
Hey,
better
hold
than
on,
literally
hold on,
another
not
hold on,
player,
worried
y'all,
that
hold
bro.
on,
much
y'all,
about
hold on,
that
That
because
does
y'all.
I'm
not
like, I
make
know
Hold
you
on,
he's going
y'all.
to
Let
better.
me
get
say
a screen
something
to
real
get
quick.
to
Let
where
me
he
say
needs to
something real
be.
quick.
Oh my
Kyrie
God.
don't get a
So is
screen to
Aaron
get to where he needs to be.
Aaron Donald, Dwight Howard better? Because they both got a ring. Who's
Hey,
better?
not,
They
hey,
both
not,
got
Definitely
one.
Dwight
Since
Howard.
that's the because they both got a
hey,
ring. So
not.
let's
Let
just
me
use
say something
ring and
real
ring
quick.
players and just compare them. So
Like
any
you
player that doesn't
using
have a ring, you
rings.
can't
I
compare them with
haven't
anybody.
even mentioned
That's
the fact that he
non-logical.
won the ring.
That is
Like I literally
non-logical.
haven't even mentioned that this entire conversation. That's
You
the
keep
No,
trying
this
to
craziest
make
part
it
about
about
it.
the ring. We talking about the
like
fact that you
what y'all
keep
keep
trying to
bringing
compare
up.
Kyrie's first 4 years and all the years that he's injured to Damian's whole entire career of him just sitting bench.
Rod, say what you want to say, Mr. Rod. We
Rod,
got to man, we got to guess. Let Rod
Yeah,
talk.
yeah,
Let
yeah, yeah,
Rod
yeah,
talk.
yeah,
hold
yeah.
up.
He's
We got to
60.
guess. We
Yeah,
let our
I'm trying to.
guests talk,
Yeah, I'm trying
man.
to.
Let our guests talk, bro. Stop talking, please. Mel,
Like
I'm
can you
trying to.
mute him?
y'all give this man so much love. Kyrie is
I'm not finna mute this man. I'm gonna let him finish. I'm
Ridiculous.
gonna let the gas tank go burn out.
couldn't Tyler.
Go ahead, go finish so Rod can tap in.
Seems like Dame. Why does Dame want to leave his team? Okay. Rod, what were you gonna say?
Okay, yeah, I was about to say, all right, Kenneth, that's good. Let the guest get in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Introduce yourself, Rod, to the
Yeah,
people. Let them
please,
know. You know
please.
what I'm
Hello,
saying?
Rod.
What's going on with y'all, boy, man? My name Rod, man.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
but yeah,
Yes,
I was
sir.
trying to see how we. I was just trying, get up to speed. Kyle trying to see how we go from who the better player all time to Kyrie or Dame. I just want to see, I just want to catch up on what everybody was feeling about that. Cause I understand how he feel, but I feel like you got to look at the player's skill set overall, not just rings, not just points, but like, can this guy score? Can this guy play defense? What he does to the team? You see what I'm saying? It's like that's what I look at as an all time. Cause all time you gotta look at all around. You see what I'm saying? You can't just
So
go from like.
who do you have?
So I feel like I ain't gonna lie. I like both guys. It's kind of like a tie sort of. But like I feel like I gotta go with Dame just off of the strength that I like Kyrie, but he has his moments. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like I love the guy, like great handles, great scorer. But I feel like when it come down to like he got when it's time to get the ball out of his hand, it's kind of like an issue, kind of sort of sometimes. So I feel like I kind of take Dame in that one over over Kyrie. And even though Kyrie has more rings, it's like I think I kind of take like, what if the roles were reversed, and like what if the shoes were switched? And like what if that was Kyrie over there in Portland, and what if Dame had the route as Kyrie? It'll be a lot different. You see what I'm saying? So it's like I just try to look at it overall, and just give an unbiased opinion because I love both guys.
Facts, and
Their
that
play
I
style.
100%, I love
I
that.
agree with
So
that.
I love that. I agree with that. I have zero problem with that because I've also we have both said in this conversation that we love Dame. Playboy Troy, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
didn't we
We
both
both
say
say
this?
we've been saying that we both love Dame, and that I mean it's a real hard decision to make between Kyrie and Dame, but they both literally the same exact player, and their stories could be exactly the same if you swap them, like
Exactly.
literally exactly the
It's
same. Because that's what the point I was trying to make was even when LeBron wasn't there in Cleveland, every year they got better. Cleveland got better with Kyrie, so it's like
Exactly.
it might have took them a couple more years and a couple more pieces, but they would have gotten better. They're
Yeah.
not about to sit
and
there and
the
be sorry the whole
teams
entire
weren't
time.
the same. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. The teams weren't the same. And it's
Completely
like if
different.
we're sitting here comparing the teams and this and that, so it's like that's when we take that into account. That's what we're looking at when we're saying, okay, hey, we want Kyrie. The conversation about rings doesn't come into a play until it's mentioned that Dame took his team to the conference finals.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's literally, and that's the whole thing that we keep saying in this conversation, but it's not being heard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And Jamel and Frank are both in this conversation. They can go back and read this shit. We have said this multiple times. If we're building an NBA team, we're choosing Dame. But
For sure.
if we're just looking at talent and we were judging from talent, we would choose Kyrie.
and
Exactly.
I'm
I
about to
agree
say,
with that for sure.
and off of
I
that,
agree
I
with that
was
for sure.
saying that Dame, he happened to have a better team where he could actually learn to be a leader. Like he everybody in the NBA has a chance to be. They could be a leader if they wanted to be. But
Mhm.
when you have that chance where Dame, where it was like, yo, you're surrounded by Batum and Brandon Roy. He's just leaving out Aldridge. You have these guys there. You pick up how to be a leader from those guys. They've been in the league for a while now. At that time, they've been in for
Mhm.
I want to say more than 7 years, more really like 7 years at most, really. So it's like
Mhm.
Kyrie, he's coming into a situation where the longest guy who's been on that team was Antoine Jameson, but the leader of that team is Virgil, who's only been there for 7 years. So it's like
Yeah.
the levels of
And he's not a real leader
and yeah,
compared to the other two.
compared to the other two, if you telling me Batum and if I had to walk in the room as a rookie and they're like, "Yo,
No, no
who do you want to
disrespect.
learn from, Aldridge and Batum or Virgil and Jameson?" I'm going with Aldridge and Batum immediately. I'm not even gonna look their way. So it's like
Yeah. For sure.
that's just where I'm like, okay, Kyrie he didn't have that chance to learn how to be an actual leader until he got with LeBron, and that's why he ended up
Yeah.
leaving Cleveland because he
Exactly.
wanted to learn how to be a leader.
Exactly. Exactly.
So the teams are
Exactly.
just 100%
And I
unbalanced.
feel like it was too late for him by
Yeah,
then. Like I feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
by then
Yeah.
it was like I learned how to play this style of ball. You know what I mean? And it's like I'm getting these injuries, these
yeah.
knickknacks. It's like it's time for me to
Yeah.
Because right now,
kind of
if
Yeah.
you
head
think
out.
about it, the way Kyrie career is, that's basically how Jalen Green is going to be when all those people, all those young cats in Houston, the stars of Houston, when they get a real leader, like a real game changing player there with them, or if he ends up going to play with somebody else game changing, like if he ends up with like a Luca, or he's going to be in the same situation as Kyrie, we're going to be looking at him as, oh, bro, you briefly, oh yeah, you were number two, but you had a chance to be a number one, but you lose surrounded by other young guys. You're not going to learn
I
anything from other
mean,
young people.
I
Around.
think I think his leadership skills may be tested, but I think in terms of that situation, the talent around him is just it's way better. Like Kyrie did not have talent
Oh yeah,
around him his
wait,
first four
yeah,
years. You know what I mean? And it's like he didn't ask LeBron to come there. LeBron came himself. You know what I mean? Like he just and
and the only
in
reason he
terms
came
of
back was because he saw how good Irving was. He literally came back
Yeah.
because he saw
exactly.
Kyrie was. He was like, man, this dude's about to be a star. Because
And
Yeah.
LeBron, during his stint back, LeBron said it himself. We're top heavy as fuck. So it's like, and it's like, bro, like they literally just had stars, like those two. That's it. Like it
Right.
was nothing else. So I kind of just feel like in the conversation for Dame and his leader, like he became a leader because they built the team around him. He had chances to fail. He had chances to get better. This, that, and the third. With Kyrie, as soon as they was building the team around him, everything switched when LeBron comes. Like when LeBron
Yeah.
comes, bro, we're going behind who's, everybody say he's the GOAT. I say I
Yeah.
consider him the GOAT. You know what I mean? So it's like, bro, shit's gonna change when somebody at that stature comes around, just as much as it was the issue with Kobe and Shaq. Kobe
True.
coming up, Shaq comes over. It's like shit, everything switches now, bro. It's all about Shaq. We don't even care about the fact that the Lakers traded Charlotte, you know what I'm saying, for this pick. That shit
Hmm.
that shit just goes unnoticed. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like nobody talks about that. We talk about Kobe and Shaq. You know what I mean? We don't talk about the heaven and high waters that they moved to get Kobe.
Yeah.
So, I think that's just those things are overlooked when you're looking at that process, of course. But I definitely 100% agree with what you just said, and I could choose Dame in that same light.
For sure.
Yeah,
But yeah, like you're
that
saying though, if we going for like talent and like stuff like that and like what look good, definitely Kyrie gonna be is a no brainer. You see what I'm saying? But like I feel like Dame bring that, a little bit of that old school kind of, sort of in a way. You feel me? What Kyrie bring out the new wave. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where it's like Kyrie, he act like in the game you can tell like he, like he was first coming up. Like you said, he was like when he first was like rising to stardom. You feel me? Like everybody knowing like Kyrie finna be like one of the best point guards. Then it's like okay, everybody's easy to like all eyes on Kyrie. You feel me? But like yeah, Dame,
It's
in
Yeah,
that
it's a
top,
different
yeah,
story because
yeah,
Dame has
yeah,
a team built around him. It's
yeah,
based off of his style of play, of what he could do
yeah,
and what he can do. Kyrie is like he hasn't had a team built around him since his third season, really. When
yeah,
they literally had then this is when they have Deion Waiters and all these other guys when they're a little bit younger
right.
and like they're getting better. Like that's when you start seeing him actually flourish as a star player by himself. And
mhm,
little before he
yeah.
can even get a chance to actually do it all by himself, LeBron literally shows up
Yeah, showed up.
and
Yeah,
just
yeah,
takes
yeah. That
over.
what really made a
So
difference
it's
too.
like,
I think that really made a difference too in like the way things went. You feel
yeah.
me?
Because I say he literally just
For
shows
Absolutely.
sure.
up and takes over the whole entire team, and Kyrie has to
Yeah,
just take back seat. Because
yeah,
are you going to tell LeBron James he needs to be the second? He needs to be the second
No.
guy when Kyrie's literally been there for only like 3 years, and then you have LeBron literally
yeah,
coming from a Miami team where they just won back-to-back chips and stuff like that, and the year
yeah,
before they won back-to-back chips, and they didn't win that year. Like you're not about to tell LeBron to take a back seat.
yeah,
No. We know who LeBron is.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? Everybody knew who
yeah.
LeBron was at that time.
Like
So,
like
you know,
Deion say, he comes with luggage, and that luggage is Louis Vuitton. So that's what LeBron comes with every single time he comes to the team.